What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we got some goodies to throw onto the Miata. So the Miata has had pretty much everything touched on it other than the suspension at this point, which is pretty good because I've had the car for almost a year now. And it's time for the suspension. The car is very creaky, it's very rough going down the road, it just doesn't feel comfortable. I haven't changed out any of the suspension other than the coilovers when I first got it because it was on stock ride height and stuff. So it is getting the treatment. It is getting, what are these? Sway bar, not sway bars, outer tie rod ends and lower ball joints. And then in the big box here, we got new upper control arms with new upper ball joints in them. And then we have the energy suspension, Hyperflex front and rear bushing set for the control arms. So I'm not going to go super in depth on doing it. I'm going to try and show as much of the work as I can, but I'm not going to give you like an instructional because there's 40 different videos on that are going to be better than mine here on YouTube. So if you guys really want to know that much more about it, go ahead and hit those videos up. This one's more for just entertaining. But yeah, so I mean, Miata is sitting pretty on jack stands right now. I've been doing some work to it the last few days. If you guys watched the last video, you can see we got the Sparko Sprint put in here. Looks fantastic, feels good. Really close fit for sure, but it fits just right. We got the Delrin Flying Miata door bushings. Definitely a huge noticeable difference in that. Wrap the top black. Poor job, but better than red. Then we got the tires flipped in the front because obviously, you know, things have been on there for a while. Sticky tires and camber don't really make a good combination for mileage, so had them flipped on the rim. Bueno. So yeah, this is everything we got to take apart. I gotta get the rear end of the car back up though, get those rear wheels off, and then just start taking stuff apart. So the front one's pretty easy. I already took my splash shield off so I can get the control arm bolt out. I'm gonna also have to remove the sway bar bolts, those two 12s back there, to drop it down a little bit to let the bolt come out, and then undo the coilover. But overall, it is a very simple task. And then the only hard part is going to be getting the bushings out. I'm probably gonna have to run to the store, go get a bottle of propane or something for the torch. Because I've learned from experience that if you're trying to press old bushings out, you have a huge chance of bending the arm. Whereas if you just heated them, then you can just push them right out. Sometimes they just fall out, and it's much easier that way. So I think that's the route I'm gonna go this time. So let's get started. I have to take the brake calipers and everything else off, so I'm gonna go ahead. There's a lot of stuff that has to come off and like separate the ball joints and all that. So I'm gonna just go ahead and throw you guys up and get this knocked out. For the rear, same thing, caliper off, coilover undone, separate the hub, take the axle nut out so I can push the axle through, because one of the bushings is here and then two on the bottom side of the hub, so it's kind of a lot of work. So I'm gonna just go ahead, get started, get everything off the car, get it marked. I have my eccentric bolt marks marked, so that way I can kind of hopefully get my alignment somewhat close to what it is now, so that way I can safely get it to the alignment shop without destroying my new tires in the back. And then we'll get everything off the car and we'll start burning this stuff out. Got everything off. I'm just trying to get this last eccentric bolt off. I'm gonna have to do the fronts all at one time because there's a lot of hardware, there's a lot of stuff going on. I don't want to lose track of anything. I don't understand how these things work. I've always worked on just Hondas and done Honda alignments. So you have your tie rods and then your caster. Well, I don't even know what these actually do, to be honest. I'm assuming it has something to do with camber, maybe? Camber, caster. On Hondas, you have ball joint operated camber kits. On these ones, I'm assuming it's what these are, and these, I don't understand them, but either way, I got one off and this other one is extremely hard to break free. The car was aligned recently, a couple months ago, so I know it's not seized, it's just on there. Yeah, I don't know. Definitely doing one corner at a time. I gotta wait till the freaking arm comes off. Oh wait, no I don't. I can probably squeeze it out here. Like I said, I'm replacing this whole upper arm as a unit. I'm not going to bother changing the bushings out on the new one because they are brand new, so I'm going to just leave the rubber ones up top for now until they get worn out, and then I'll put the poly ones in. But it comes with a new ball joint and stuff too, so very nice. Finally got it. Okay, that was only harder than it should have been. So let's get this ball joint unbolted. Just the through bolt right here, and then we got a bolt right there that holds it in place, and pull that out. Yeah, that one's, this has to be original. And then we'll take the torch and heat up these bushings and try and get these slid out, and then we'll open up our instructions for the new ones, see what's going on there, and get them put on. Found the best way to actually get these out. I have a press, but I can't even fit this arm on the press. It's too long, tall, whatever. So I've been using the torch to really heat the metal up. I think Energy Suspension says in their instructions, heat it till you're starting to see smoke, but you don't want it to actually catch fire because you don't want it to melt and all that. You have to clean it up anyway. But get it until it's nice and toasty, and then I just took a screwdriver, slid it into the bushing like that, and then I'm able to take the hammer and smack it right out like that. So here we got the old one. That's not too hot. Yeah, here's the old bushing though. I kind of drilled it around the edge of the lip a little bit just to try that. It was taking too long. So heat and a hammer and a screwdriver seems to be the trick. Got both bushings out of this arm. This one was a bit more tough, so I definitely had to use the drill to like break it free a little bit from the metal. So now I'm gonna go in here with just some sandpaper, clean up the insides, and then get ready for the new bushings. So I got the instruction sheet out here. I'm just trying to organize my parts, and so far I've got it so these two bushings here, 2692 and 2693, the diagram is of the passenger side control arm, so there's on the frontmost piece go, or the rearmost piece go to this one, so these ones go here, these two go here. The front ones I'm still uncertain, these ones if I'm gonna do them on the front new control arms or not, we'll see. But these ones actually look like they're gonna slide in by hand pretty easily, so that's good. We're just gonna apply a lot of this lubricant stuff because this is what's gonna prevent squeaking. I did get the Hyperflex Black because it's graphite infused and it helps squeaking, like from squeaking in the long run. Only part that I'm confused on now is I have to get my caliper gauges and measure these pins. I know that it says 4 of these ones, so those are the 4, but then there's 2 and 2, and the instructions here don't give you the lengths, they just give you the part number, so you have to kind of measure the part number yourself. But I mean, it's not that hard, you just got to pay attention to what you're doing. But we'll get these slid in, and then should be able to do it by hand like I said. Lots of grease, and then this one will be done. I'll swap out the ball joint and we'll bolt this thing back up and get moving on to the passenger side. Alright, scratch that first part of the last clip. I wasn't paying attention. This arm piece is wider, so, and the measurements are on the last part of the spec, so 2.75 inches long. This is 2.75, so that one will go in there, and then the shorter guy right here will go in that one, and then these 4 that have the wider opening are for the front control arms, so those will go just over there on their own. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead do this other one, catch up with you guys once the arm is back on, because I don't want to touch my camera now. I got both fronts done, front arms and all that, all the ball joints and all that put on. So this is all good to go. I do need to still tighten everything down on both sides, but I'm leaving all of it just hand tight so I remember that I have to go back and tighten each corner. So now I'm gonna move on to the rears. The rears should be decently simple. I mean, same concept, undo the sway bar end link and blah, 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 blah. It's just this time I have to do the hub as well. Shouldn't be an issue though, and yeah, let's just keep on cracking at this. I wish I could say that the rear was going more smoothly than the front, but that's definitely not the case. I smashed the piss out of my thumb, busted it open, and in the process I also broke my vise, which this thing is apparently probably like 40 years old or so. It had broke a long time ago and I re-welded it, but I mean it's really old, thick, heavy cast iron, and it literally split like right down the center of my weld. So that sucks. So I just had to run to Harbor Freight, buy a new vise, and I finally got this stinking bushing out. I just got it cleaned up and stuff, so I'm gonna just keep on pressing forward because this is definitely kicking my butt and or my thumb. And yeah, I'll just get this cleaned up, get the rest of this bushing pressed in, get these two arms done, finish up the driver rear, and then I'll show you guys once everything's at least loosely bolted back in, because I just want to knock this out now. I'm so over this. Definitely not the hardest job I've done, but it's definitely one of those things where you need to have the right tools. And in this case, a vise is definitely one of those tools. I just need a better spot to mount mine, is all. I've got the long lens on because I was just taking a couple pictures for Instagram and stuff. But I just finally finished up pressing all the bushings in. Let me show you here. I got the rears, or the last of the rears right here. So, lower control arm, upper control arm, and hub. What's left of the vise, and here's the majority of the bushings. Some of them are already thrown away. That's a lot of bushings, and probably went through 7-8 pairs of gloves because of how sticky that crap is, and made one heck of a mess. But I am exhausted, so I'm gonna come out here tomorrow and clean this junk up, and I'm gonna put that last corner on in the morning. I gotta go to the grocery store and stuff and get myself cleaned up now that I've ruined my pants. But it's finally done. And I know that now is a good time to paint the control arms while I have it all off, but trust me, the last thing I want to do right now is paint these things, because one, it's a driver's car. This car gets driven a lot and it gets driven hard, so that paint's either going to chip off or it's just going to look like crap in a couple months anyway, so I'm not huge on it. It's by no means a show car. But yeah, whatever. I'm going to catch you guys tomorrow once this stuff is put back on all the way. Brought us into the next day now. Pretty sore and tired from yesterday, to be honest. These bushings definitely kicked my butt. I'm just working on the reassembly process right now, tightening everything down. I just wanted to show you guys that something that you should do anytime you install new suspension is you should preload your suspension before you tighten it down. So in this case, all you gotta do is just get some pressure on there. So I just used a jack and some bricks, and I jacked the suspension up quite a bit, and then I went ahead and tightened all my connection points. As for the alignment ones, I'm gonna have to play around with those a little bit. I may, once the transmission and everything else is done, because the next video is gonna be me doing the clutch, which I'm gonna start here in a little bit. So the alignment spots, I'm probably gonna wait till the rest of this all done, and then I'm gonna put the wheels on, put the car on bricks, and then kind of try and line up my alignment marks where they were before. But it's not so much important on those ones, because when you go to get the alignment, when you're done, obviously they break them loose, it resettles the bushings or whatever you want to call it, and then they retighten them. So it's not that big of a deal, but I gotta play with those a little bit. I'm new to eccentric bolts, but the rest of this is all tightened up here, minus the axle nut. I gotta snug that down quick, and then I'm gonna just keep working my way around. Not too much sense in showing you guys me just tightening everything down. So I think I am gonna just cut the video off here, and I will pick up this video once the car goes and gets aligned. I'll make a review on kind of like, we'll drive the car around, we'll see how it feels, but I just got a lot of work to do today, and I don't really feel the need to spend the time setting up the camera and stuff to film
getting these bushings tightened down. So be on the lookout for the next video. I gotta tackle the clutch on this thing. The eBay one, the XTD, is slipping. So we'll discuss that in this next video. Anyways guys, hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. If you're new to the channel, hopefully you've considered subscribing, and if you guys could just hip thrust that like button for me. And yeah, anyways guys, do what you love, forget about the rest. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.